Have you ever had one of those holiday decorations that just won't give up? Well, this little snow scene has been with us for a few years. It survived some super glue botch jobs around here, as well as getting bashed around in the boxes. But now the lights have completely stopped working. So it's time to see if we can work some holiday magic, or whether it's time to say goodbye. So as I mentioned in the intro, this has been with us for a few years now. It's just one of those sparkly Christmas scenes. It's had previous repairs here, but the problem now is that these little LEDs that run around Santa and the reindeers, they got dimmer and dimmer and then have now completely stopped working. It just runs off 3 AAA batteries that are in the bottom there, and yeah, it's doing absolutely nothing now. So it could be anything from the connection to the batteries, it could be the switch, it could be that there's a loose connection. So there's only one way to find out, and that's to start taking it apart, seeing if we can fix it, or maybe we might need to use some replacements. Okay, so take this apart, because I've already done as much functional testing as I can in terms of on and off and fresh batteries and rolling them up with my finger. So that's about all I can do. Looking at this now, it's either going to be a case of trying to remove the glass dome out of here, but I already know it's fairly well stuck in, and I know that because it's cracked along here in the past. Alternatively, maybe there's some screws in there for the base, which might be hidden underneath this rubber pad at the bottom. So I thought maybe initially we could, yeah, I really don't want that to just kind of break on me. I think maybe we'll take this pad off and just see if there's anything around there. It looks like it might just be cardboard with this sunk in though. So yeah, let's just take these out. And I don't think there's going to be a particularly nice way of taking this off. Okay, so no screws under the foam bottom. Then this, it just looks like there's blobs of glue in there. So let's see if we can just leverage this out with, you know, a screwdriver. And it's fair, I tell you what, there's not much flex to work with. So that's out there now, and then I can literally see there's kind of a, what's that? It's a resistor, isn't it? There's a resistor going into the switch, and then straight from that switch going off that way. All right, so that's broken off now anyway. So that was going to this resistor here. So that was part of the switch, our on-off. And then obviously our lights, and look, in fact, see that there? There's corrosion on that battery terminal that's crept into here. So where was that going to join up with? So we've got one piece of cable here, and then there's another piece of cable there. So it might just be worth initially seeing if we can just put some power into there and see if they light up. And if so, it might be that this corrosion's crept onto this side, and then we'll just need to link up. It's going to be 4.5 volts. So let's just put some power into these two whilst we can get hold of them and see what happens. Okay, and there we go. Right, it's lighting up. Good, so that's some nice quick progress. So we know the LEDs are fine. I'd actually suspected that that there was a break in there, but it turns out that the lights are absolutely fine. So I just need to work out the wiring here. But to give me a little bit more room to move, I'm just going to put some cabling onto here now. So it's just a couple of pieces of cable cut. Just going to put a little bit of flux on. I think I'll probably tin the ends of these as well and then attach them on. So just onto here, and I'm just going to go, I didn't want to start cutting this back in case I lost it, but so what I'm going to do is almost solder beyond that tiny little bit of corrosion right on the tip. So I'm just going to grab that helping hand back, because usually I like to wrap the cables around each other to give some mechanical strength, but I just can't pull it enough out towards me. But the thing is moving around all over the place. But I think if I get this mechanical hand to at least pull the wire out or hold it for me, Soldering isn't the best. I've been meaning to try some shrink wrap for a while. Give me a second, I'm going to grab some shrink wrap. So I've got some heat shrink tubing, and I got it ages ago before I got this solder station with a hot air gun. So it never really worked for me, but what I think I'm going to do on this one is just see if I can get it to do anything. So slide this down over the joint, and I'm not even sure what temperature you're supposed to use with these. I mean, it's got to be fairly warm. So it's at 120 degrees, medium airflow. Not much happening there. Let's try 150. Guess you've got to be careful because you don't want to be remelting the solder, do you? 150 does seem to be closing it up. There we go, yeah. Possibly even a little bit warmer, maybe a little bit more airflow, but that looks like it's done the job. So now we need to move on to this section here. So if that's our positive, it has to end at the negative, which is going to be this bit here. Is the positive going to go straight to there and the negative going to go straight to here? Let's clean that up just with a touch of IPA where the corrosion is. So as that's moving around, let's just take that out. Just going to melt the solder, pull the fitting out. Not as bad on the back as I thought, but it was worth giving it a check to make sure it's all gone. Right, so I'm going to solder that onto there. And then I think, well, to be a switch, it can't be straight onto here, can it? So it's got to be onto this side. Let's see what happens. Right, nothing happens. Do you see that? Okay, so it's on, is it the middle one? So what I'll do now is stuff this in here, warm up the hot glue gun and get that back into there. Right, that's the hot snot warmed up, so we'll just get some in around here. Obviously I could have got rid of the other stuff, but you're not going to see it. There we go, good amount all round. Squish it in just whilst it cools. It sets so quickly, this stuff. Any of these little strands, if you just pull and pull and pull, they go on forever. So you're best off, if you ever get any of those, just snip them with a pair of scissors. Now we've got to put this back on. I guess probably just a little bit of super glue. So I'll use my cheaper one, which is this one here. And I guess it's probably worth going right up to the edge. And also around this bit. Push that down. So I'll just clear the decks and then time for our final reveal. So there you have it, a little time and a little effort, and this snow scene is back in action. So if you've got a Christmas decoration in need of some love, maybe try fixing it first. It's a great way to save money and keep those festive memories alive. And if you enjoyed this festive video, please consider clicking the like button or subscribing to the channel for more retro content. Until the next one, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.